HopCast, episode number 4.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got some exciting stuff.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
I am Ken Hunnemeder.
And this is going to be our first part in our 50-part series, Better Know a State. Feature 2 beers from Michigan!
Michigan. Number 1 is something Brad has brought to the table, so why don't you give a little introduction here, Brad?
This is the Jolly Pumpkin. What's the Firefly? I'm not really sure how to say the other name.
Luciernaga.
Right.
We'll go with that for now.
It's a barrel-aged Belgian pale. Jolly Pumpkin is in Dexter, Michigan, west of Detroit, right across. If we do the little mitten thing. Detroit's
The glove.
I don't really know how that works. I'm not from Michigan. Forget it.
It was always kind of lame anyways, right?
It didn't work out. Michigan.
Jolly Pumpkin is known for their unique style and how they brew. They brew 100% in oak barrels, and they also use sometimes off flavors. They use like certain bacterias in the fermentation process that will somewhat off color the beer and make them sour. So this is done purposefully.
Right.
And
You were saying that's a batch thing, right? It's that's why the batch numbers are on the bottles?
yeah, they label each bottle here. It has a specific batch, and they also go by each specific barrel that they use to age in is numbered and accounted for. So if they wanted to, reproduce or replicate that beer exactly the second time, they would use that same barrel to do so.
So what's our batch here? So in case someone else gets this.
This says batch 296/297 on it, and
So if you pick up a bottle, it might not taste the exact same. It'll taste close though.
yeah. So these are some would say an acquired taste because they are sour. Sometimes Jolly Pumpkin will use wine barrels to age the beers in as well, because that also kind of will give that off flavor or sour taste to the beer.
All right, let's try this.
Cheers.
Okay, all right.
What do you think?
I like it, but it's not something I would drink all night either. It has a good taste, but
It really, I think, is an acquired taste. I personally really like sour ales, and this one to me is not very sour. I think it would be a nice maybe introduction to the style of brewing. So, I mean, it's definitely not something that everyone is going to enjoy, but it's done really well.
yeah, the sour hits you like right in the middle, and then it's gone. Right, it doesn't. Like, when you get little bit of bitter at the end, which kind of kills the sour taste.
And it's also done in a Belgian style, so it has that. I mean, the carbonation is pronounced. It has a lot of fizz to it, and as you can see, nice head retention. Makes you a little burpy.
And I was reading that a lot of these Belgian pales now, they're adding a lot more hops for the American drinkers.
Right.
Because they like the hops.
Yeah, it's not all too popular out over there, but it's getting there because they're taking a look overseas at whatever all the American breweries are doing with the hops, and they're trying to work that in with their own beers. And because normally if you look down the import section at your liquor store, there's really never anything new. You always seem to see the same things.
Yeah.
Whereas in the domestic section, there's always the breweries are always coming out with different and new beers, and so I think that's kind of catching on overseas as well.
It could be an import thing also. It might be tougher for them to get their beers distributed.
I actually spoke to someone specifically about that. He was from England, and he said no, they just don't do that out there. So it's different, and maybe it'll go the other way, but I don't know. Never been.
We're showing them what's up. We're teaching them.
Eventually, we'll podcast from Britain and let you know for sure
What's going on there?
as soon as we're big
Or
time.
we'll have a Brit on and he can tell us straight up. Might be cheaper and easier for us to do it that way.
So, what's your overall opinion, like, on this one? Because it is very different.
Yeah, I like it. I don't usually get the Jolly Pumpkin beers just because I've had a couple and like they're not really my favorite. But I don't think I'd give it again. I will try one of their other beers, but
This it's one I definitely, not something I drink a lot, but I really do enjoy it. Sometimes I find myself overlooking it, but yeah, I really like it. You can definitely taste the oak.
oh yeah,
And that's also kind of like a theme for our show.
the oak. Oh yes, the oak beers.
We're going to be doing obviously two different beers, and both from Michigan and both aged in oak barrels, but we're just going to kind of show you how different they can be, even though kind of used similar brewing techniques.
So overall, this one has like a sour taste, a little bitter in the end.
Definitely taste the Belgian yeast strain.
Yeah, yeast, a little bit of spices right there. There's some stuff floating around, spices and a little bacteria.
Yeah, there's definitely, you can tell it's not it's not filtered or anything. There's definite yeast sediment floating around in the bottle or the glass.
We're not drinking this too fast. Usually, we're pretty far along.
Yeah, this is a tougher one to put down. It has a lot of flavor.
Right, but the alcohol is pretty low.
It's at like 6.5 or 7. Speaking of the alcohols, last time we did the gumball head and we told you it was 5.5. It's actually 4.8.
What?
So even more impressive than we had suggested.
So we were a lot drunker before drinking that. It was not the gumball head that made that episode gold.
Yeah, a little more low key this time. We're more under control. Whichever you prefer. Maybe a little more informative.
But less entertaining. Depending on the way you look at it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a guest this time. We might be doing a back-to-back episode.
We're going to be leaving you next week, so maybe we'll double up.
Right. But we're gonna finish this off. It might take us a little longer. It might not be our usual like 5 minutes. We're back.
The miracle of television, we will be back.
We'll be back. Cheers, bitches. Alright, we're back.
Welcome back.
Empty glass.
Okay, yeah, we did finish those Jolly Pumpkins, delicious, and we're gonna move on to a new one. This is the Dragon's Milk from New Holland, and
Holland, Michigan is outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Grand.
and this one is an American strong ale that's also aged in oak. So tying it all in.
It's all around.
So let's
Pour
give it a
this
pour.
out. Looking good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, someone maybe underestimated the bomber.
I think this might be darker than what we have last week. That was the stout.
It was the Kalamazoo
Bell.
Stout from Bell's, and this one's thick.
It's darker. Yeah.
But I mean, it is like it's black, but
It
it's not.
It doesn't
stout.
look heavy like the.
No, not like your motor oil stout, but as far as the color goes, I mean, if you really put it in the light, you can see some brown around the edges, but it's pretty thick black.
Nice smell.
Very sweet smelling.
little coffee espresso in there.
Very oaky. This one, the oak comes out a lot more in this one than you would find in the Jolly Pumpkin.
Right, but the coffee taste hits you like after that oak taste. It's like, I love coffee.
Brad and I are on the same page with the coffeeness. We a little addiction going there. So it's something that we would definitely really enjoy. A lot of roasted malt flavors in there. It's almost like caramelly. This one, it also weighs in at 9%. So,
but it doesn't taste like a lot of alcohol.
no, it doesn't have a burn. It goes down real smooth.
Yeah. Wow. If you like coffee, I usually drink my coffee black, so this is like it's perfect at the end. It's like I just took a sip.
Just a little insight on me. I like mine with a little bit of cream. So.
Wimp. Yeah, if you are a big coffee fan and you like your coffee black, you're gonna like hoppy beers that are bitter. They just sort of go hand in hand, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it just means you have like a likeness to bitter flavors. So this would be right up your alley. It does have. I do get a little bit of the alcohol burn in my throat. So I'm feeling the 9%. So hopefully the night goes well for me.
This is definitely a sipper.
Yeah.
Like we're not making it far in this one right now.
I'm also trying not to sip right now, but
You're trying not to?
yeah, I want to get like the full flavor, so I'm taking big mouthfuls and swishing around it.
So another like the left-handed milk stout.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good stout for me. Also, it has like a refreshing taste to it.
Very creamy. I mean, it's a milk stout, so you would assume as such.
So why isn't this a stout? Why isn't this fall in the stout category?
Stouts have their. It all depends, from what I understand, the amount of roasting that goes into the grains.
Okay.
So the more you roast or toast those grains, they become darker and darker. So if it's almost burnt, that's what they use for stouts.
Okay.
So this one's just held back a little bit, but I would think that this is getting there.
Yeah, it's close to stout. So the more the colors from the oak aging, really, right?
That could be as well. That could be as well.
They might have burned the inside of the barrel
Mm-hmm.
a lot more than they usually do.
This is just an example of like, in comparison to the Jolly Pumpkin, how different two beers can be when using similar techniques. Because if we'd also encourage you guys we'll let you know the beers. We usually post pictures on the Facebook page of the beers that are going to be aired. So if you have the means or are interested, go out and pick up the beers and drink along with us.
Right.
We definitely.
This one you picked up here in Illinois, right?
Yes.
At Sam's.
Got it at Sam's. We got both of our beers at Sam's.
Right. And Sam's is like Binny's. It's just a big liquor store,
They call it their wine superstore.
Right. So I'm not sure other places what they're called.
There are two. If you're on the north side of Chicago, there are two really great liquor stores. Probably the best liquor stores in the city. One is Lakeview Liquors on Addison, and seriously, around the corner from that is an Arminetti, and it's on Lincoln.
And are they as big as Sam's?
They're not as big, but they have like nice selection. Maybe have a little harder to find beers, more highly regarded beers, and pay a little bit more attention to their beer selection.
Sam's is more about the wine. So
not to sell them short on the beer, because they really do a nice job.
And I think Binny's is more about the spirits. Like they have a lot more of those than either beer or wine.
But this isn't too hard one to find.
Yeah. Okay.
You can find the New Holland stuff anywhere.
If you're in the Midwest area, I don't know how far they distribute, but I don't think you're going to see them out in
I mean, they
on
don't.
the West Coast or anything like that.
This is part of their high gravity series, so they don't come in like 6-packs or anything like that. You got to buy the 22-ounce bomber like this, and they have a few others that come in that series.
22 ounces the way we like to party. You don't see very many small beers on this show.
This is considered a single serving here on the HopCast. 12 ounces.
Wimps. So one thing we didn't talk about on the last beer was food pairing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've brought out some cheeses this time.
Yeah.
And initially you were thinking dessert.
That's what I would think. It's very sweet, caramely, vanilla, roasted coffee.
The coffee after dinner kind of
Mm-hmm.
little pie or something.
We didn't have any ice cream or anything like that, but we do have cheese, so we're gonna try it and see if any of these cheeses will work nicely.
Right. So we have, what do we got?
We have a smoked Gouda, a Swiss, a regular Gouda, and we have an aged Vermont cheddar, white cheddar.
Alright, so which way do we want to go?
Let's try the smoked Gouda.
Alright, a little beer.
Mm-hmm. A little cheese, Steve.
The cheese overpowers the beer.
I think it's a little too smoked.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you.
Like,
Really good cheese,
it's good, yeah.
but
Not gonna lie, it's good cheese. But I don't taste the beer anymore.
it just I don't know, they don't go together. Let's try a little Swiss action.
That's a big piece. Alright, a little beer first.
Love me some cheese, love me some beer.
Cheese and beer. Usually they go well with wine and beer, wine and cheese, beer and cheese.
Mm-hmm. Closer, not quite there.
It doesn't kill the beer taste, but it just doesn't work with it, I guess.
Might be just to like, Swiss has that bitter off flavor. A little too much for this smooth tasting sweet beer.
Alright. There's a lot of cheese and beer. What are we doing to ourselves?
Regular Gouda.
That
Actually, that's pretty good.
works. Yeah. It doesn't completely kill it. There's still a little roasty taste in the back.
Right. It has a nice creaminess, I think, that the regular Gouda that lends itself to this sweet dessert type beer.
Yeah. I think the smoked Gouda would work. Alright, so we have
The cheddar,
aged cheddar.
aged cheddar with the aged beer. Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
The cheddar's a little strong, biting a little too much for the beer. I definitely, if we had some ice cream or something like that, probably the way to go. But flying by the seat of our pants here, didn't have any ice cream.
Cheese. That's the extent of the fridge. Maybe some mustard.
There was some string cheese in there, maybe that would work. I don't know. But that was, overall, this is a great beer.
Yeah, I love it, yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Very malty, sweet. Something I think that, maybe beer drinkers that look at the color and be like, oh, I don't like dark beers. Well, here, try this.
Right,
I mean,
it's stepping stone.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Michigan.
Michigan.
Two breweries in Michigan serving up great beers.
Aging in oak.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining the HopCast.
The podcast. We review sodas. Maybe some Ceramist.
I'm jonesing for some Jones.
Oh.
So cheers and thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.